Today we are coming to you from Youth Rock. Now it's time to take a look at a growing issue that is concerning to us all.
Recently the government announced a new initiative in the area of binge drinking. It's a youth issue. What can be done about it and how bad is it?
Today the crew takes a look at the issue.
Now, what do you think are some of the problems associated with binge drinking in young people today?
I think it's probably this idea that now to have a good time, you've got to go out there and get smashed because that's the only way, there's no alternative. I think that's probably the major issue.
Kids are just going out there to drink just because there's nothing else for them to do.
A lot of peer pressure in it as well. You see a lot of people that get peer pressured at parties and everything just to fit in.
Other people do it and they do it, you know? So it's just like, you know, trying to be cool, whatever they're doing, you know? Whatever, and then after they do it, they like the feeling, they do it again. Next week, and that's it, yeah.
We're here with Brian Plummer, psychologist. Brian, tell us, why is binge drinking such an issue and what are some of the related problems?
Many young people engage in binge drinking these days, and not just young people. Some of the related issues, health issues, emotional issues, relationship issues that young people have as associated with binge drinking. A recent report indicated that the costs to our community of all the associated issues, including motor vehicle accidents and other associated issues with alcohol in our community, is $15 billion a year. That's $15,000 million a year. So it's a big problem.
What kind of age group are the ones that are doing the most drinking?
Our age.
Well, it's becoming acceptable for a 12-year-old to start drinking, and it's not acceptable. They're going pretty heavy by the time they're 14.
And why would you say binge drinking seems so acceptable in our culture?
I think this has been something that's developed over some generations. Australia's known as being a big drinking country and big drinking culture, and we've tended to associate drinking with good times, with celebration, with just about everything really. And I think young people have been pretty much let down by previous generations who've taught them that kind of lesson and sort of said that it's okay. And it's not only okay, it's a good thing to do. But in fact what we're learning is that it's associated with many lifelong problems for a lot of people are associated with alcohol consumption and binge drinking in particular.
It's just part of this generation, the kids above us do it, and then so, you know, it comes passed down. But I'm sure there's also that, you know, there's this inherent idea of drinking. You see it through, you know, people within the media, all your footy players, all that. You know, a lot of young kids will say, well, that's not influencing me to drink, but I'm sure there is some inherent subconscious effect there. Where
do you see alcohol, you know, on the television and in the movies and so on? It's always associated with good times and everybody smiling and everybody happy. What you don't see is domestic violence, car accidents, people drunken and vomiting in the gutter. You don't see the dark side of alcohol in the media. They just don't portray that. You know.
Drinking's always going to be a problem, but I don't think they see it as a problem. I think it's more like fun and experimentation. The
types of people that get involved in binge drinking are those that are either not comfortable to be themselves in the company that they're in, and therefore it's to cover up their inhibitions. So they feel that if they drink a lot, they can be somebody else. They can let their inner self out, if you like. And there's another group that have stuff going on in their life that give them some pretty uncomfortable emotions. They may be depressed, and it's a way of sort of self-medicating and covering up those emotions. And of course, there's young people who want to try it. You know, they like to experiment and go out and have fun. So they're the main reasons.
Yeah.
I think binge drinking is a huge issue amongst young people because people don't really have much to do on the weekends, so get drunk, sit around with all their friends.
So why do you think a lot of binge drinkers say that there's nothing else to do on the weekend?
Well, I think they convince each other of this, that they just tell each other there's nothing else to do and that's the only thing that's acceptable to do. And they see maybe older peers that tell them that too, that's a cool thing to do.
They're so used to this idea of the culture. There is no alternative. Someone will suggest something, you know, that's alternatively fun to do. You know, just go out and hang out with our mates, just muck around, see a movie, and they'll just get slammed down for it because there's no drinks involved.
I think the older generation has also contributed to that too, and in not making them aware and not training people from a younger age how to have fun without alcohol.
Okay, so what would you say to a young person wanting to go out on the weekend and have a good time?
Well, I'd say go out and have a good time on the weekend. That's what young people are supposed to do. But in terms of going out and having a good time using alcohol, I'd ask them to have a look at that. Are they able to have a good time without the use of alcohol or with less alcohol? Because if they're not, they've got a very sad future ahead of them. It means that they're not going to be able to have fun in their life ever unless alcohol's involved, and that's going to lead to some pretty lifelong problems for them.